First of all, I'm not gay, and they changed my voice, so they made it so I had to put that on the top there. All right, slave master cultures versus freedom. The freedom to express oneself, for example. Okay, freedom of speech. Anyway, first consider the history of sabotage by various slave master cultures, and let us draw parallels between ISIS-run terrorist sabotage and the corporate state's terroristic corporate sabotage, psychological operations, and other commonly acknowledged events and processes. Also, do not forget that secret societies and cults are notorious for insisting on their secret orders for their members and the community at large, as immature and evil as that is. Point number 2. What are American values? Freedoms are usually cited by the state, and they say things like we must spread our freedoms or spread our democratic values. So we must look at logical constitutional rights as also human rights that the corporate state has no right to infringe on. This is especially true with rights that people historically believed were worth dying for, such as the freedom of speech and expression, the right to a fair trial, which means no covert sabotage and no obstruction of justice, the freedom of religion, the right to own firearms within reason, the right to be free from corporate state-run covert harassment, as they've been caught all throughout American history helping people stalk and harass people. The freedom of the people to have a fair press that will cover key issues, such as the suppression of the most logical argument for the second coming of Christ. What good is the press if they will not cover an argument such as the top martial artist ever, arguing that he is the last coming of Christ, and making it clear that the miracles are not literal in a way that there is no viable counter-argument for? And how fucking stupid is it for them to ignore this issue? How useless are they? Point number 3. With all this being said, it is more important that people never forget that one moral person's argument in regard to what is right is more important than 8 billion average to pure evil people's arguments. For example, if there were 101 people on a boat, and 99 of them voted to group rape the one female on the boat, and one man voted against it while she was not allowed a say, truly the one person who voted against it should have his way on that issue. The opposition view's argument is that the 99 should have their way, and we have seen the results. We see the results in the extreme substance abuse that takes place in America. The high rape rate, the exploitation of the labor force, racism, the high murder rate, the high rate of assaults, etc. How much more evil would their argument be if the 99 people on the boat were part of groups that bred that way of thinking on purpose and screened out the opposition until only the one righteous person remained? I mean, fucking scum, right? Through eugenic programs officially and otherwise, with complete cowards playing stupid, we have seen the breeding of evil on this planet with no way back. So the wise thing to do is to stop breeding. How much more should one stop breeding when people even deny this is going on and try to confuse what is going on when it is one of the most obvious things in the world today? Point number 4. People are even ordered to sabotage me and to not even let me be heard in the first place. Obviously, their way has failed. Generation Z, regardless of sexual orientation, has become a very scared and submissive generation, so even their reproductive cycles have failed.